All right, then. Moving on to the next technique. And so we've already covered the past, present, future. We also covered the prep outline. We now move on to a technique where you get to practice. You get to practice how to build rapport, how to give advice, or how to persuade others. And you use this with the story, message, gain, outline. The way you do it, you'd like to have a story, very relatable to the topic. Make sure you have the characters there because you only have 1 to 2 minutes. You shouldn't go more than 3 characters. Make sure that there's some form of clear scenario, what happened, the kind of conflict that had to be resolved, and then how you're able to come up with a solution. And as soon as you're done sharing your story, let the listeners know what it is that you learned from the event. That's your message. Try to keep it to just 1 minute, 1 sentence, 1 or 2 sentences, and then conclude by letting your listener know how they will gain from the message that you've shared. So that's why you have your story, message, gain. Now, for this particular segment, for the story, message, gain, Nitu, if I may request that you just give one topic, just one topic, I'll handle it. If you, so that I can demonstrate the story, message, gain. No need to flash it, just state it, yeah.
Okay, so the topic is based on this goal, which is by recording your dream and goals on paper, you set to you set a motion and the process of becoming the person you most want to be. Put your future in good hands. That is your own. So the question is, do you believe in journaling and why? Do you believe in journaling and why?
You know, fellow Toastmasters and friends, let me share with you a time in my life when I decided to maintain a diary. I remember back then I was in high school and I had these tiny diaries that would usually be given during Christmas. And with that diary, it's a small one, I would put there 2 or 3 sentences that would describe the day I had. And what made it different was it would be such a thrill. Even years later, I would happen to look at that diary and I would wonder, gosh, I can't believe I used to think about it this way, or I can't believe that I was able to overcome this particular challenge. You know, fellow Toastmasters, journaling helps because it helps as a means to give us those happy memories whenever we would want to go back to a time of great joy. And fellow Toastmasters, if you're able to keep a diary or maybe a journal, not just of your accomplishments, of what you've done for a particular day, you don't have to look too far to find that happy moment or relive that happy moment. Mr. Timer, Madam Timer, how much time did that take?
1 minute and 33 seconds.
Okay, so very much within the time limit. Okay, thank you very much, Nitu. Well, fellow Toastmasters and friends, now it is your turn as NJ is not around for
Sir,
I had yeah.
Sir, NJ sent me the table topics questions. I can take over po.
Oh, okay. But you'll also be the
Oh,
evaluator for table
right.
topics. Right. All
Okay,
right.
I'll send you the topics then.
Okay. You can send that to me. In the meantime, I also happen to have a few I happen to have a few topics of my own. All right, so fellow Toastmasters and friends, this is using the story message gain outline. I'll give you a topic and then you would use your story message gain outline. For our first topic, here it goes. Love does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be true. Again, love does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be true. And I'd like to hear from immediate past President Nelson. Immediate past President Nelson, please.
Love does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be true. I remember when I am in high school and I have a girlfriend. I thought it is already a true love. And the story is when it is your first girlfriend or your first love, it's so much, the meaning is it's so much, you feel that she will be the one already and you will do something about it. The message is it's like selecting something, or when you marry, it is not the first one that you will marry. You have to select, or you have to compare. Like in real estate, in my business, you do not buy the first one, but you have to compare the prices so that you will get a good value. But really love, so the story message in game. What I learned from this experience is that you have really select or try or experience loving probably other person or having some experiences before you can really say that is a true love. Back to you, President Raul.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, immediate past President Nelson. Okay, let's move on to our next topic. Our next topic goes, the wise build bridges while the foolish build barriers in times of crisis. Again, the wise build bridges while the foolish build barriers in times of crisis. May I invite our visiting Toastmaster Nilesh? Would you like to tackle this, please?
Thank you, Raul. Wise build bridges while the fool raise barriers in times of distress. I am picking a story from my profession. We had a non-standard project at a time. The time was of great recession in 2013 and most of the people were at bench. I, being relatively a junior at that time, I was called for that project. Many of them had already raised their hand that we will not do this. It does not meet our professional qualification. It is not that we do. Kind of creating barriers in, let us say, 20 to 30 people who could have got the man hours or the sustained jobs through that project. I hate to brag, but when they told me that this is something that we have to do, I picked that opportunity. I said, I can't think of one automation tool which can reduce our efforts and we can deliver on time. So not calling myself as wise, but I created a bridge by which I could save 18 jobs in that crisis time. Those people now work more efficiently because they had worked with me on that automation tool, which helped them in their own ways of working. The story goes, we successfully completed that project in half the time it was required to be done in. The message on which we are just talking is the wise build bridges, but the fools create barriers. Over to you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Toastmaster Nilesh. Okay. Yes, Madam Timer, have all participants met the time limit?
Yes, everybody's on time.
Okay, thank you. And later on, we will hear the evaluation for participants for story message gain from Toastmaster Leah during the general evaluation.
I think we're okay with the poll.
All right. Can you announce the results, Toastmaster Leah?
The best table topics respondent who used the SMG pattern is our visiting Toastmaster from India, Nilesh.
Okay.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much. All right. Well, we now move on to one last pattern. So far, we've already done the story message gain outline. We've tried prep, which you use when you share an opinion, and then past, present, future, when you try to be diplomatic, right? When you try to, let's say, disagree without being disagreeable. There is one more technique that I would like to share with everyone. What if you don't know anything about the topic? All right. This is a technique which is also being used. It's called change the subject or the artful dodge. It's a good technique that you can use when you know nothing about the subject that is being asked. What do? All right. You use any of these transitional statements. And if I could invite Toastmaster Kiel to just read our slide. Please, go ahead.
Thanks, Titan Raul. So for transition statement 1, many people talk about subject, but I would like to talk about substitute. In your substitute, point 1, point 2, point 3 stated, some people talk about then subject again, but because of points 1, 2, 3, then the substitute is what I
It's what I believe in. All right, thank you.
Yes.
So that's one way on how you could do the artful dodge. Another, okay, so by using this technique, you're able to move on to another topic. And just to share with you, there were actual impromptu speaking contests in the district level where the champions used what we call an artful dodge, especially whenever quotations would be given. All right. Now let's try a demonstration. And Toastmaster Leah, I believe you have a number of topics with you, don't you?
Yes.
All right. Let's try one, and I'll demonstrate before we call others to try the artful dodge. Please, Toastmaster Leah, go ahead.
The topic is share a story about your first rejection or the first time you rejected someone. How did it happen and how did it affect you and your relationships? So there are a number of questions in this topic. So maybe let's just stick to the first.
Okay. Please
instruction.
post the topic. Post the topic, Toastmaster Leah. Go ahead.
Share
What
a
is the topic?
story about your first rejection. Let's cut it at that.
You know what, fellow Toastmasters and friends? A lot of people would be very curious about those who turned me down despite my strong attempts to win their commitment. But you know what, folks? Other than rejection, right now, what would be more delightful than acceptance? And this is because a whole lot of us would want to be accepted, don't you? Don't you want to be accepted not just in work or in other relationships or perhaps even in organizations that you want to be part of? Let me share with you, you know what? There was this time when I wanted, I wanted to get into the training industry. I didn't have any experience as a trainer, but because of my time that I had spent attending Toastmasters, it gave me the wherewithal to develop my communication skills, my presentation skills, such that after 3 years of being with the Toastmasters organization, I was accepted as a corporate trainer in the business process outsourcing industry. You know what, fellow Toastmasters? Yeah, it's nice to know about rejection, but when you know the rudiments of acceptance, you know, I believe it's important that we focus on acceptance. Madam Topic Master, or Madam Timer, how much time was that?
1 minute and 45 seconds.
1 minute and 45 seconds. So, was I able to demonstrate to you the Artful Dodge team? All right. Now it is your turn. Now it's your turn. And our first topic, talk about a balanced statement. Talk about a balanced statement. Balanced statement. And may I hear from you, Toastmaster Inah, please. Toastmaster Inah, using the Artful Dodge technique.
Balance statement. Many people may talk about balance statement, especially if they are familiar with finance and all that. However, for me, the only balance I can tell you is having balance in life. Having balance in life is far more important because you can have all the finances in the world and yet it could never really make you happy. So there must be a balance in your life, a balance of things that you need to have and also of things that you would like to have. There should be a balance of grief and happiness because we cannot expect only happiness in life. Most things in life come in duality, and we appreciate the other when we have the other or have experienced the other. So we should find the will to embrace what we have. When we receive lemons from life, then we make a lemonade. And when we get honey, then we use honey and enjoy it to your heart's content. There is balance statement, and then there is life balance. And I think having a balance in life is far more important. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you. All right. We now move on to the second topic. And please talk about automatic transmission. Automatic transmission. May I hear from you, Heather? Heather, please.
When we talk about automated transmission, the first thing that comes to mind are cars, automated mobiles, etc. But I'm not really one of those car fans and car lovers, so maybe we can just talk about automated technology. As an accounting student, it is actually a trend right now that we have been using automated technology in the workforce. So to give you an example, we have been we have a subject that deals with automated trial balances, automated journaling that actually makes us future accountants work easier. In the future, some may say that since everything is automated, they won't need accountants or they won't need auditors. But the truth is, other things may be automated, but there are still parts of life that needs the human brain. So, to conclude, automation is an advantage, but at the end of the day, nothing still beats human perception and analysis. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. And for our last participant, your topic is comic superheroes. Comic superheroes. Can we hear from you, Toastmaster Kiel? Toastmaster Kiel, please.
Many still fan of comic superheroes. I don't know if it's still my time, but I would like to share another. I can recommend the animes or what we call on cartoons, what we see on the animated mangas. So I would like to prefer this instead of a comics. Well, I would like to say that the comics is more on a 2D dimensional and doesn't have an audio, but instead use an anime with a animated video, and you just sit back, relax, and just watch it. So some people talk about comics like it's an old school, yes, still popular, but because of convenience and also you want it to watch till the end. So this is what I believe that we need to focus on, and we need to more put interest on instead of the comic superhero that we've been through. That's all. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kiel. So we had three participants that were Toastmaster Inah, Toastmaster Heather, and Toastmaster Kiel. Madam Timer, did our three participants for the Artful Dodge meet the time limits?
Yes, everyone's on time limit.
All right, thank you very much. May I ask our Vice President for Public Relations, Toastmaster Leah, to offer our polling screen, please. So we have Toastmasters Inah, Heather, and Kiel.
Are everybody on time?
Yes, everyone was on time. Okay. And Toastmaster Leah, anytime you're ready.
I think we're good.
Please.
I'm ending the call now. So the best artful dodge was given by Toastmaster Inah.
All right. Congratulations, Toastmaster Inah. All right. Okay. So, fellow Toastmasters and friends, today we covered 4 different techniques for table impromptu speaking. We've learned how to respond to situations where we need to share an opinion or information. A second technique on how to be diplomatic without sounding disagreeable. A technique where you can build rapport, and a technique that you could use when you know nothing about the topic. Find an opportunity to use these techniques and come across as confident, self-assured, and knowledgeable at the same time. Onwards to you, Madam Toastmaster.